This is the World Organic News Podcast for the week ending 11th of April 2016. John Moore reporting. This episode of the World Organic News Podcast is brought to you by Gem Biscuits. Gem Biscuits make gluten-free sorghum flour-based biscuits and cookies. Choc chip, hazelnut choc chip, coffee hazelnut choc chip, and the original spicy sorghum. All these are handmade with, of course, organic ingredients. These biscuits are the bomb. Please check out the website, gembiscuits.com. That's JEMbiscuits.com. A link is in the show notes. Vermont is throwing up more than just Bernie Sanders. Sterling College in that small state is making big waves. This college has been quietly proving environmental methods and theories through rigorous data-based efforts. Centrepiece is the farm, with tree and soft fruits, vegetables and livestock. To quote from the article, Sterling College has a picturesque campus, centred literally and ideologically on an approach to farming that's more earth-friendly than the agricultural industry. Christian Fernstein, the school's Director of Communication, describes it as a living laboratory for sustainability and conservation, end quote. It is important we remember the value of such institutions. The work they do has ripple effects. Is a bastion against the spray and spray and spray again form of agriculture that dominates in the West and is being aggressively marketed in the developing world. To read more on this subject from the article From Ford to Monsanto, from the International Reporter, link in the show notes, Dr. Vandana Shiva advocates for the poorer farmers in India against this onslaught by Big Chem and Big Biotech, which are basically the same thing. So tiny Sterling College has been running trials, teaching future farmers and gathering data to prove the earth-centred way of farming is not just sustainable but profitable too. To quote further from the article, it is very true we're a small college, but we speak with a large voice. We're seeing people come round to practices we've had in place since the 1970s, end quote. Remember, we can all do this. We can all make small changes in our food consumption, and in doing so we can, together, make a difference. Every organic carrot we purchase encourages those organic farmers to keep planting carrots, and so on with every other vegetable, cut of meat, litre of milk and bag of apples. The change starts at the grassroots. It begins with our relationship to the soils beneath our feet, and from this starting point it can and will bring our food, our health and ourselves back into balance. We'll restore the taste of a real strawberry, the safety of our pollinators, and the clarity of our waterways. Never ever forget the power you hold and the effect that carrot can make. And now onto our journey through John Seymour's complete book of self-sufficiency. Coming to the end of the food from the garden section, we are at fruit. Seymour divides these into soft fruits and tree fruits. Soft fruits run from strawberries through all the variations of brambles, raspberries, blackberries and all their crosses, to currants and gooseberries. The key to these fruits is remembering that they are hungry feeders and stationary for many years. Keeping the compost and or manure up to them in a timely manner is critical. Propagation, pruning, harvesting and preserving are all covered by Seymour. Tree fruits bring more to the garden than I originally thought possible. The gentle art of the espalier is explained in great detail, and this is the key to tree fruit in the garden. Espaliers require more attention than open orchard plantings, but the effort is more than rewarded. For even the apartment dweller with a small balcony can grow espaliered fruit trees in containers. This brings us to the end of the food from the garden section. Much of the book is devoted to this section, as we can with some thought and very little land quite literally feed ourselves and our families. We will continue our journey through the complete book of self-sufficiency when we meet in next week's episode. During that time, please check out www.gembiscuits.com. Any suggestions, feedback or criticisms of the podcast or blog are most welcome. Email me at john@worldorganicnews.com. That's John, Jon, no H. A transcript of each episode is available on the blog at www.worldorganicnews.com under the tab Podcasts. The sounds used in this podcast are courtesy of the Texas Radio Theatre Company on the Free Sound site. Links are in the show notes. Thanks for listening, and I'll speak to you again next week.